Hello, welcome to the IGNOU Distant Learners. I am Dr. Chitaguppi with the subject BHIC 131. In our previous sessions, we had discussed about various topics in 131. Today we are going to discuss one more religion which flourished in India in 6th century BC. So in my previous session I had discussed about Jainism. Today we are going to deal with Buddhism in the 6th century BC. This was the new religion that was born in India. And this religion dominated the religious life of the people of India for more than 800 years later. And not only that, it also crossed the borders of India and spread in various parts of Asia. Hence, here Buddhism acquires here an international status. It is considered to be an international religion. So, however, it had its birth in India. We are going to deal with Buddhism. Yeah. This is another descriptive type of question from your examination. The question may be, narrate the life and teachings of Buddhism. Narrate the life and teachings of Gautama Buddha. Or they may ask you the question, discuss the significance of Buddhism in religious history of India. So you can expect here a different type of questions. So learners, do prepare here on this, mainly the topic here from the descriptive point of view. From descriptive point of view, you have to prepare this question. So what are the points we are going to here to discuss in this question? So first, a small introduction has to be given. So introduction should cover here the 6th century BC, as called in the history of the world as the age of religions, saw the emergence of here new religions not only in India but outside India also. And it was in India, Buddhism had its birth in the 6th century BC. This particularly the religion here flourished from 6th century BC to 5th century AD. It was a very popular religion. However, from 4th century AD, Hinduism began to rise, but Buddhism dominated the history of the India in the religious matters, and it has contributed a lot to the Indian culture. So this we are going to discuss in this, mainly Buddhism. The founder of Buddhism was Gautama Buddha. Gautama Buddha is considered to be the founder of this religion. Gautama Buddha was born in 563 BC at a place called Lumbini Vana. So regarding the identification of this place, Lumbini Vana, it was possible after the discovery of a Ruminde inscription or Ruminde edict, or also called as a Lumbini edict of King Ashoka. So this edict has helped us to identify the Lumbini Vana. So the place where it has been found, here it has been here mentioned in the edict that it was the birthplace of here Buddha Shakyamuni. That is here Gautama Buddha. So Lumbini Vana today falls in Nepal. The place is today in Nepal, Kapila Vastu. And Siddhartha was the early name of Buddha. His early name is Siddhartha. And he belonged to a Kshatriya community called as the Shakya community. That is why Gautama Buddha is also called as Shakya Simha, as he belonged to the Kshatriya community. Later he is also known as a Shakya Muni, as he became a monk. So his early name is Siddhartha. He belonged to the Shakya Kshatriya community. His parents were Shuddhodana and Mayadevi. So it is very popular incident in the Buddhism that before Mayadevi gave birth to the son or gave birth to Buddha, she had a dream in which here she saw a white elephant entering her womb, which was an indication that she will give birth here to a divine child. So this is popularly called as the dream of Maya. So Maya Devi gave birth to here mainly Buddha, or his early name Siddhartha. Immediately after the birth of Siddhartha, within 7 days he lost his mother. And later he was brought up by his foster mother or stepmother by name Mahaprajapati Gautami. That is why also he is called as Gautama. He gets the name as Gautama. The future of Siddhartha was predicted by the astrologer called as Ashita Muni. Ashita Muni is the astrologer who predicted the future of Siddhartha. Either he will become a great king or a great saint. Shuddhodana, who was very anxious that his son should become a great king, he was mainly brought up in a very worldly life. Shuddhodana tried to keep away the miseries, problems, difficulties, sorrows of the life away from his son Siddhartha. He led a very comfortable life. He had the wife by name Yashodhara and also a son by name Rahula. However, it was at the age of 29 when he was on a pleasure tour, Vihara Yatra, along with his charioteer Channa, in his chariot drawn by his favorite horse Kanthaka. So when he was on a pleasure tour, the 4 sights seen by Siddhartha: a old man, a deceased person, a dead body and a monk. These 4 sights brought the great transformation in him. Mahaparivartanam. The great transformation took place in Siddhartha. He realized that life is full of sorrows. He came to know that here the life is full of difficulties. The awareness came in him. So he wanted to search what is the reason for these miseries of the life. So it was at the age of 29, he renounced his worldly life. Mahaparityagam, the great renunciation. He renounced his worldly life, became a monk, an ascetic, and learned the art of meditation under the teacher by name Allara Kalma. And later he undertook a penance, meditation, here at a place called Uruvela, which falls in Bihar. And a place called Uruvela, he undertook the meditation. For 6 years he meditated, and at the age of 35 he got the enlightenment. So in Buddhism, enlightenment is also referred as the nirvana. That is also the word used for the enlightenment. So after his enlightenment, the word Buddha came to be used. Buddha means enlightened person. So After his enlightenment, the place here where he got enlightenment came to be called as Bodh Gaya, today in Bihar, one of the holiest place for the Buddhists. It falls in Bihar, and it is also today recognized as one of the World Heritage Site by the UNESCO. So this place was mainly the place where he got the enlightenment, and it was on the banks of river Niranjan. The enlightenment was there under the peepal tree, which we call it as today the Bodhi tree. Under the peepal tree he had the enlightenment. So after the enlightenment, he delivered his first sermon at Saranath. Saranath comes in Uttar Pradesh. At Saranath, Deer's Park, he delivered his first sermon called as Dharma Chakra Pravartanam. The first lecture is known by this name. And later, by using people's language, Pali language, as Mahavira had also used the Pali language, Siddhartha or Buddha also used the Pali language to teach the people his thoughts, how to get rid away from the miseries of the life. Not only that, he made the people understand his thoughts through the stories, which were later collected here and were called as Jataka tales, dealing with the previous birth of Buddha. So through the stories and using the people's language, the simple path to the salvation was given by Buddha, which attracted the people, and people moved towards his religious doctrines. So we find Buddha mainly was responsible to make the people understand, realize how the sorrows of the life emerge, why they come. So this Buddhism has been considered as the most practical religion to the life. The miseries here mainly evolve in person because of here the reason that was given by Buddha is most practical. So people were very much here inclined towards his religious faith, and this religion evolved as the Buddhism. So what were his thoughts? What were his doctrines? So they were very simple doctrines. So the philosophy of Buddhism is hidden in the 4 doctrines of Buddha, called as 4 noble truths. Right? That is, life is full of miseries. Desire is the main cause for the miseries. Desire, called as Krishna. One has to conquer his desires, and to conquer the desires, one has to follow the 8-fold path, Ashtanga Marga. So these 4 thoughts were given by Buddha to the people to overcome the misery and attain the salvation, the mainly moksha. So this is here the 4 simple thoughts given by here mainly Buddha. He rejected the Varna system of the Hinduism, and he threw open the path of salvation to all the people, irrespective of their caste and religion. Women were also allowed to follow the path of salvation. So the 8-fold path was here open to everyone. So we can say here Buddha was the first social reformer of India to reject the Varna system. He is considered to be the first social reformer of India who rejected the Varna system and gave very simple thought here to the people who can follow this here and attain the salvation. So this is how Buddha attracted the people. The people were attracted to his magnetic personality as well as his thoughts. It was here in 483 BC at a place called Kushinagar in Uttar Pradesh. He attained the Mahaparinirvana, that is salvation, moksha. So this is about the life of Buddha, what we have. We have the information of the life of Buddha. And in the life of Buddha, there are totally 5 important events. And this is important that each event is having a particular symbol. Everyone must remember these symbols. The birth of Buddha is having the symbol of lotus as well as the bull. Lotus and bull are the symbol. The bull is a symbol because he belonged to the zodiac sign of Rishabha. So that is, the bull is mainly the birth symbol. After that, the great renunciation of the worldly life is symbolized with a horse. Then the enlightenment. Enlightenment is the Bodhi tree. Followed by that first sermon, it is denoted here by a wheel. And the last day, here Mahaparinirvana is symbolized with a stupa. Stupa is a very sacred structure for the Buddhist. It is a belief that it contains the relics of Buddha. So which is here mainly denoting the his Mahaparinirvana. Later this religion developed in India because of the royal patronage, the royal encouragement. Like we have got the dynasties like Haryanka dynasty of Magadha, Shishunaga dynasty of Magadha, Mauryas of Magadha, and Kushanas in the northwestern part were the great patrons of Buddhism. Not only that, we have some dynasties like Guptas, though they were main followers of Hinduism, Buddhism was mainly here encouraged. Guptas, Palas of Bengal, Pushyabhutis of Kanauj, and down in the south we have the Shatavahanas promoting Buddhism. So Buddhism here developed, flourished as one of the important religion of India. So till 5th century AD, Buddhism had dominated the religious life of the people in India, and it has enriched the Indian culture. So how the kings promoted this religion, that is most important. So the rulers, they mainly got constructed the stupas. For example, it is said the Mauryan king Ashoka got constructed nearly 84,000 stupas to promote Buddhism. So one of the oldest surviving here the stupa of Ashoka period is the Sanchi stupa in Madhya Pradesh, which is also an World Heritage Site. So stupas were mainly built. Likewise, we have the excavation of the chaityas and viharas. Chaityas are the prayer halls, viharas are the residential places for Buddhist monks. So chaityas, viharas were excavated, stupas were built to promote Buddhism. In Maharashtra, under Shatavahanas, we have got a lot of viharas and chaityas excavated. The largest chaitya in India is present in Maharashtra at a place called Karla, the Karla caves. Belongs to the Shatavahana period. So like this, mainly the construction of the monuments here promoted the religion. One of the method used. So also the rulers, They mainly encouraged the scholars to write the books on Buddhism. It was the efforts of the Haryanka dynasty king Ajatashatru. The doctrines, lectures, life events of Buddha were codified in the form of the books by his disciples Ananda and Uppala. They composed the three Pitikas: Vinaya Pitika, Sutta Pitika, Abhidhamma Pitika. The three Pitikas considered to be the holy book of Buddhism. It was mainly the efforts of Haryanka dynasty king Ajatashatru. Likewise, later Kanishka sheltered the scholars like Ashwagosha and Vasumitra. Ashwagosha wrote Buddha Charita, and we find Vasumitra writing the Encyclopedia of Buddhism, Mahavibhasa Shastra. So these are all the books which were written by the scholars under the shelter of the Indian rulers, and it helped to promote the Buddhism. Thirdly, establishing the Buddhist education at the educational centers. Like Ashoka started the Buddhist studies at Takshashila University. Later under Guptas we have establishment of the Nalanda University, where Pushyaputi ruler Harshavardhana promoted Buddhist education. Dharmapala of the Pala dynasty Bengal established the Vikramashila University, so which was one of the most important center of the Vajrayana sect, the study of the Vajrayana sect. So these mainly at learning centers, educational centers, we have Buddhist education was promoted. These are the measures adopted by our kings to promote it. The missionary activities were mainly sent. Mauryan king Ashoka is said to have sent 7 missionaries to different parts of India as well as outside India. For example, his own son Mahinda or Mahendra, accompanied by his sister Sangamitra, went to Sri Lanka to promote Buddhism. So it was the efforts of Ashoka, Buddhism reached to Southeast Asia. Later it was efforts of Kanishka, Buddhism reached China. It was the missionary Dharma Rakshaka responsible to spread Buddhism in China. So the rulers promoted here or encouraged the Buddhism within India as well as outside India. Likewise, here organizing the Buddhist councils, which is one of the most important measure adopted. Totally 4 Buddhist councils were held. The first one was held in 483 BC at Rajagriha. It was organized by Haryanka dynasty king Ajatashatru. Mahakashyapa was its president. The composition of the 3 Pitikas started here. The second council was held in 383 BC by the Shishunaga king Kalashoka. Sabakambi was the president and the place was Vaishali, again in Bihar. Rajagriha also comes in Bihar, Vaishali also comes in Bihar. And we find the composition of 3 Pitikas continued. The third Buddhist council was held at Pataliputra, again at Bihar. It was in 250 BC by the Mauryan king Ashoka. Mangali Puttatissa was its president. 3 Pitikas were completed here. Missionary activities were initiated from this Buddhist council. So this way, the Buddhist council became very important to promote the Buddhism. The 4th Buddhist council held in the 1st century AD under the Kushana king Kanishka. It was held at Kundalavana, Kashmir. The first Buddhist council held outside Bihar it was. It was held in Kashmir, and the president was Vasumitra and it had a vice president, Ashwakosha. So this council marks a very important event in the history of Buddhism. It is in this fourth Buddhist council we notice the rise of the two sects of Buddhism, Hinayana and Mahayana. Hinayana is also called as a Theravada, that is the sect of the elders. Mahayana, the great vehicle. These are the two new sects what we have got. So the important differences what we can notice is Hinayana or Theravada, they never considered Buddha as a god, he was considered as a prophet, whereas Mahayana considered him as a god. Hinayanists never worshipped the idol of Buddha, they worshipped the stupa or the Bodhi tree. But Mahayanists started worshipping the Buddha in the form of idol. Thirdly, we find the Hinayanists continued with the use of the Pali language, but whereas Mahayanists used the Sanskrit as the language. So with these many differences, in India, Mahayana sect became very popular. From the days of Kanishka, Mahayana sect went on to become very popular. Hinayana did not flourish. However, in mainly 7th century and 8th century, we had another sect called as the Vajrayana sect, the Shakti cult of Buddhism. But it did not flourish much in India. It later went to Tibet. Guru Mahapadma Sambhava is one of the great teachers of the Vajrayana sect, who is said to have started the studies of Vajrayana at Nalanda University. So like this, we have mainly these Buddhist councils were organized and to promote Buddhism. So it is not only in India, we find Buddhism came to be dominated throughout Asia. Hence, Edwin Arnold in 1886, he wrote a book called The Light of Asia. Buddha was referred as the Light of Asia because his influence, his doctrines, philosophy was on the Asia. So the title of the book is The Light of Asia. So this is how Buddhism flourished, and it remained as one of the important languages till the 4th century AD. However, with the establishment of mainly the Gupta dynasty in India who promoted Buddhism, slowly the decline of Buddhism started. Various circumstances were there for the decline. The disputes in the Buddhist Sanghas, the loss of the royal patronage, the mainly emergence of Hindu kingdoms, followed by that we have Buddha came to be included as one of the incarnation of Vishnu, and he came to be called as a Hindu god. And from 8th century, the Bhakti movement which developed in India, it gave a death blow to the Buddhism. So Buddhism slowly vanished from its birthplace. However, the doctrines of Buddhism have never lost their place in India. Still, the thoughts have remained. And in modern period we find here it has been made an attempt to revive Buddhism. Like Dr. B.R. Ambedkar converting himself to Buddhism, who gave a new sect called as Navayana, which was aimed at the social reformation, the 4th sect of Buddhism. The coming of Dalai Lama and the Buddhist monks from Tibet. Once again, here mainly Buddhism gained its momentum. Today, government is also making the efforts to popularize this religion. Hence, we find this religion, no doubt today is not an important religion in India, but 1000 years almost it had dominated the history of India in the religious field. So this is one of the important topic from your examination, and here these points are to be here included for your mainly studies, and based on this here and your study materials you can prepare on mainly the Buddhism there. Thank you.